Hey, what's up YouTube? Down to Fix It Man. Got another quick video here for you. I'm going to show you how to fix a dryer that won't start. This is a Kenmore dryer, Series 500, and we've got nothing when we push that start button. So there's a few things that might be causing this no start situation. Let's go through one by one and see if we can figure this out. Well, the first thing we need to do for safety is unplug the dryer, and what we're going to do is verify that our outlet is working properly. A couple ways you can do that. One is with this little simple outlet tester. All we need to do is plug that in, and if we get two orange lights here, we know that it's wired correctly and that it has power. And we do. So we know our outlet's good. Of course, if you don't have power to the dryer, find out why your outlet's not working. That might just be a trip circuit breaker. The next thing we're going to look at is the drive belt. If the drive belt breaks or comes off the pulley, it might trigger the drive belt switch, which will also cause a no start condition. In order to take a look at the belt though, we're just going to lift this lid up, and before we can do that, we just need to pull out the lint screen. Set that aside. And then there are two screws up here that we need to take out. These are just two little Phillips screws on this model. The reason for taking out those screws is we're disconnecting the lid from the little lint chute here. And now if we come to the front of the dryer, you see along this seam, if you just get a straight putty knife and you push in and lift at the same time, you'll see we're basically pressing in these clips. There's one on the right and one on the left, and that allows us to lift the lid up. Now I'm just going to hold this up while we take a look at the drive belt up here, and I'll turn the light on here for you, but you can see this is our belt, and it's definitely not loose. It's actually looking just fine. The other thing I want to do is take a look at this door switch right here. Let's go ahead and just disconnect this. So we're just going to use our clips here. We're just going to clip onto these little pins. Just have it on the pin on the far left and then the pin on the far right. And all we're going to do is test for continuity there. Okay, so turn on the meter, and we're going to set it to the lowest ohms setting. The ohms is this little horseshoe shape right here. All right, so just to verify the meter, here's what it should look like. So if you get any reading that's showing that you do have continuity, if we take it off, it just shows a little 1 and then a dot over here. All right, so I'm just going to clip this one on here. Okay, door is closed, so if I clip this on, we should get continuity. Just like that, and we do. We have continuity. Now if I open the door, should go open, which it does. Again, close it, we have continuity. So we know that our door switch works. Okay, so we're done up here. So we're gonna go ahead and disconnect these leads. We're gonna plug it back in. And let's put the lid back down so we can get behind there and take off the back panel. Now I'm not gonna put these two screws back in yet because we may end up taking out this chute from the back if we do need to clean that out. It's pretty common that those will fill up with lint and you'll end up with a blockage, and sometimes that is the reason for what I think might be our problem, which is the thermal fuse. Probably the most common issue on these dryers, but let's pull it out and take a look. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is shut off the gas, just to be safe back here. And all you need to do is just turn that valve like so. And we can take off this vent hose here. We'll probably clean our entire dryer vent, but for right now, set that up out of the way. Okay, so now here on the back of the dryer, we just need to take off these screws. There's 3 on this side, these 3 up at the top, then these 3 along this side. And I think we also need to remove these 2 right here. They hold like a little water steam hookup that we're not currently using. Now these are all 1/4 inch screws, so I'm just using a little 1/4 inch nut driver. That little piece just pops right off. Okay, now we should be able just to pull this back panel off. Now you can see we've got a number of these high limit switches or thermostats, and there's a couple down here, this one here. This is the most common. This is the thermal fuse. All we need to do on all of these is just a simple continuity test. I've got replacements for all of these, but like I said, this is most commonly the bad one. We'll start up here at the top, and just remember to unplug everything and put it back where it was. This is pretty simple, just unplugs, and then we're gonna see if we've got continuity across there. Just clip these on to one side and to the meter leads. And we do have continuity through this first thermostat. Okay, so we're done with that one. Let's plug it back in. Let's go on to the next one. Let's unplug this. Doesn't matter which lead you clip on which. Doesn't matter if it's red or black. There we go. We've got continuity again. All right, this one down here at the bottom, this one looks a little different. We have 4 wires on this one, 2 reds and 2 purples. Let's just see what kind of reading we get here. On this one here, we're only checking for continuity from the top and the bottom. And I just verified that by checking that with a replacement that I have. And you can see we do have continuity there. So this one is good. Let's put that back on. All right, and then now that brings us to this last one right here. This one is called the thermal fuse. Let's pull off the leads. We are connected and we've got nothing. So this fuse is bad. So it's real simple. It's just one little screw that holds it in place. Here's the new one. See, it kind of has this little hook or cutout, and that just slides right into the sheet metal. You just put it in, press it down. Now let's hook up our leads. And you can see we have continuity. Now we just need to put the wires on the new fuse. Before we run this dryer, put everything back, we do need to pull this off and clean it out and make sure that we don't run into the same issue again. There's just 4 screws that hold on the bottom part of this chute. The other 2 screws are up at the top, and we've already taken those out. Looks like I need to tilt that up just a little bit to pull that out. This one actually isn't too bad, but there is some junk in there. We'll get that all cleaned out. Found a pair of tweezers. You know, I've seen a lot worse. We're gonna get a vacuum, clean this all out, and then we'll put it back together. Just found a little earring in there as well in the fan area. All right, now we've got that all cleaned up. We can put this back in. I found it was a little bit easier to tilt the dryer forward just a little bit. All right, now since I didn't find a whole lot of debris in here, I've seen some that are a lot worse. I'm gonna make sure that we clean out our vent pipe, and I'm also gonna double check and clean out our vent that goes outside. So this is the tool that I'm using, this Lint Eater rotary dryer vent cleaning system. I've used this in the past. I actually have a review video on it, but basically you just run that through with a drill. Just make sure you don't go backwards if you have the threaded version. So we also have this smaller brush right here, which is useful for running this through the actual dryer pipe. Now, same with down here. I've just got this Lint Eater rod up into the vent that goes outside. I'm gonna take off this little clean out door. And you can see that that is completely full. We'll get this all cleaned out. I guess it's been a while since we did this. Nice pile of lint there. Now I'm gonna run the drill on this one. You can kind of just get it started by hand. I've got about 4 or 5 extensions on there now. So just make sure that you do not spin this backwards, or you can end up disconnecting a rod inside your vent, inside the wall, and it's very difficult to get that out. You can see how much more lint we're getting out. Sometimes you need a pair of pliers to undo the sections. We'll just take this out and we'll take it apart once we get it all out. There we go. Picked up a lot more lint out of there. Let's get this all cleaned up. All right, then we can put the little cover plate back on here, our little lint clean out. All right, now we can put the cover back on. Just Just gonna get a couple of these started. All right, and then we can just put in the rest of the screws. And then remember this plate here. Just kind of put in a little tab there first, and then get this one started. Let's turn the gas back on. And we need to hook up our vent hose. So this one just has one screw holding this in the top, but it works pretty well. I used to use just a flexible duct on this, but I got this one. It allows you to push the dryer back all the way without kinking it, and it really doesn't sacrifice the flow. Just line up this one. There we go. All right, then we can carefully push the dryer back into place. Just make sure that the hose stays on and doesn't kink. Okay, then we need to put the two screws back in here that hold the lint screen. Just make sure you don't drop those down while you're doing that. That looks good. And let's put the lint screen back in. And then finally we can plug it back in. And the moment of truth, let's see what happens. It works. That's awesome. Working perfectly. Make sure you clear all of the lint from your dryer vent. It is a very common cause for house fires or dryer fires. Depending on how often you use the dryer, I would say once or twice a year, it's a good idea to get that cleaned out. In our case, we probably waited too long to clear those vents, and that's why our thermal fuse went. I do have another video where I had a dryer that wouldn't heat. It was an 80 series Kenmore, and that was our same issue. I hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't mind. That does help me out. I'll get a link in the description where you can pick up a new thermal fuse, along with some of the other parts and tools used in the video as well. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck.